Hi everyone, this is technically my second vloggy thingy-majig on a different topic today. Today my topic is the new DmC reboot, or Devil May Cry 5, as some of you are coming to know it as. Now, I'm going to explain myself about some of these things, and now, for those of you that are going to say, oh, you're just going to bitch about the look, no, that's not all that I'm bitching about. I am going to bitch, but that's not all I'm going to bitch about. And I'm not just going to bitch, I'm also going to be making some valid points as well, and also kind of name off some good points, I guess you could say. So, yeah. Let's start by saying, for those of you who do not know, I really don't know anyone who doesn't know, but in case you don't, DmC, or Devil May Cry Reboot, is being being created basically through Ninja Theory. Ninja Theory is famous for producing games such as Heavenly Sword, Kung Fu Chaos, I believe it was called, and Enslaved. And the two better known games of those are Heavenly Sword and Enslaved, obviously. Now, I am not a big fan of Ninja Theory, so, but that in no way is going to affect my opinion right now. And it is going to be using the Unreal Engine, which was used in such great games such as Bioshock 1 and 2, Batman Arkham Asylum, and it was used in Turok, a few others, so, well, a lot of others actually. It's a very common battle system, so, it's a very common engine, so, that's a pretty decent move, so, whatever. Now, the issue at hand is Dante, I guess you could call him, but he's not, but he is, but he isn't. Now, they recreated Dante because they are doing a origin story of the Dante character and the stuff that we may not know about him. I didn't know he went through an emo phase, so I guess we are learning new things. See, the problem that I'm having with this game so far is the fact that if you watch the trailer, they turned Dante into a mental psychopath. Dante was never a mental psychopath. He is generally a very sarcastic, funny, entertaining, flirtatious human being. Well, half human being. That is the main issue, is that they changed his personality so much. Yeah, I mean, they changed his look a lot, and I would appreciate it if they did make him so emaciated and quite so drug addict looking. But, if they want to say he got into a thing of black hair dye and missed a white patch, am I really one to complain about one's hair? Honestly. So, that's... The problem just, right now lies in his personality. I don't like what they did with his personality. I don't generally like the look, but looks don't matter, I guess you could say. Yes, they do. What am I talking about? But I am going to be reading some quotes that I got off of IGN.com and GamesRadar.com, so let me start with that. The one quote explaining why they changed his look so drastically says, it's about Dante being cool and making you feel cool when you're playing it. And so the combat and the style system and everything is integral to that. If Dante, dressed as he was before, walked into any bar outside of Tokyo, he'd get laughed out. I'm sorry. If I saw a man with silver hair, a giant sword on his back, and 2 pistols at his side, I would not laugh at him. Would anybody? Would anybody but a demon laugh at him? Really, I wouldn't. I would get skewered. Really, Dante was really cool back, in the Devil May Cry series, before this atrocity happened. But Dante, to me personally, I don't know how the rest of you feel, but to me, Dante was very cool. His personality, his looks, the way he carried himself, everything. He was just one of the ultimate badasses, in my opinion. And so, what in any way makes this new Dante cool? I understand that now the emo style is in. I mean, you guys are going to point out my looks. I really don't care. But honestly, just because a lot of kids are doing it doesn't necessarily make it cool. A lot of kids are doing drugs as well. Then again, apparently they think that's cool too. But it's just, for them to say that the old Dante was not cool makes me think that they need to be kicked in the face, good sir. It's just not right to say that, because he was very cool. And this new one looks like a kid that I would go to school with that would get beat up on a daily basis. Really, he looks like one of those kids that would get pants at assemblies and get beat up and all that sort of stuff. But I guess the demons feel the same way. On to his second quote. It says, look at The Dark Knight. That went from gothic funhouse of the earlier Batman movies to a fairly dark look at Chicago crime today. We want to update and mature the tone of Devil May Cry. Okay. Comparing Dante to Batman, I guess, is kind of plausible in a way, because they both kind of have like a gothic feel to it. Other than that, complete opposites. Batman is very cool, calm, collected, antisocial, rude, all of the above. I do like Batman, by the way, so I'm not insulting. But Dante, yes, he was kind of rude, but rude in that sarcastic way. Flirtatious, fun-loving, outgoing, stuff like that. The complete opposites here. So they're basically trying to make Dante into Batman, which I honestly don't think is going to fit. And, okay, it's just an unfair comparison. I mean, comparing this new Dante to the one that we all know and love is like comparing Batman to Superman. It just doesn't work. They are exact opposites, and that's what's really irritating me. And as I said, you need to get kicked in the face, good sir. The original, now this quote that I'm going to read is going to be explaining, the different, why they chose the different Dante, I guess. Says, the original concepts that came back from Dante were actually extremely close to the Dante everyone knows and loves. The feedback that came back from Inafune and Itsuno was, no guys, this needs to be completely different. We need to go much further and be more creative. You can be creative without changing a character so much. That's the thing. And I wish people would realize that by now, because so many video games have gone downhill because they changed the character too much. And it's very sad to see this happening to Devil May Cry, because that is one of my most beloved, video game series. Okay, and now explaining about the game. This is meant to be an origin story, so this is Dante before you know who Dante was. There is going to be some interesting changes and twists to what people think they know about Dante and where he came from. We aren't planning on deviating greatly from the path that is there. I'm sorry. I thought Devil May Cry 3 was supposed to tell you where Dante came from. I thought Devil May Cry 3 was supposed to be the younger Dante. I understand that you're going even younger than that, but really, there's not much left to tell unless you want to leave some major plot holes or change the plot in general and actually have some, errors in the story, and that's really irritating. Most of Dante's past has been uncovered, and we all know that. We know a good majority about Dante. That's the thing. So, I really wish that they would realize this. And as I said, I don't even consider this a Devil May Cry installment. And it's really sad. But it is not all bad yet. It's not all bad because, for one, it's not even out yet. And there's not even gameplay or demos out. So we can't really say much. But Dante, this new Dante, did you know that he actually may have ended up shirtless with suspenders? I have the exact quote right here. I'm going to read it. It says, speaking to Kotaku, Ninja Theory's Alex Jones, who is lead producer on DmC, revealed some of the concept designs that he and his team showed Capcom bigwig Inafune in Japan. He said, "We had a shirtless version of Dante with just suspenders." That went nowhere. No shit. It looked like he had just stumbled out of a Clash concert. When Inafune saw it, he said, "I don't think so." I would say, "I don't think so." The whole world would be saying, "I don't think so." They would say, "Thank you for turning Dante into a pole dancer." Because that is what I picture. Or Urkel without a shirt. I guess that's an unfair comparison, I'm sorry. Because Urkel was a nerd, and Dante is not. But if they would have made Dante a nerd, actually, I would have much preferred Dante as a nerd to this new one, I guess. But just, I'm sorry, but just picturing that in my head makes me giggle very hard. But as I said, it's not all bad because we haven't seen a gameplay demo or like a gameplay video or demo or really much of anything ever since this whole thing happened. And so, there's actually a petition going around for fans to sign to stop this game from being released. And honestly, I wouldn't have gone that far. But I guess a lot of people are, so this game might actually this game actually has a chance of not even hitting shelves. So, that's, as I said, I wouldn't have gone that far. But I guess some fans are being really serious about this, so I guess if they get enough signatures and they don't change Dante back, this game may not hit shelves. So I don't know if we're ever going to really have a chance to play it entirely. Because I found the petition a while ago. I haven't been back on it since because I just kind of stared at it like, really? But yeah, as I said, I'm not very happy with this change of Dante and the storyline, even though it would make a very good Devil May Cry game. Just, I wish they would have gone about it a little differently, and they wouldn't have changed so much. And quite honestly, has anyone seen Virgil? Because I love Virgil, and he's not in here yet. And that is making me wonder if they just kind of kicked him off the face of the planet. Because I respect Virgil a lot. So, if anyone sees anything or hears anything on Virgil being in this, please let me know. And if you want to leave your own opinions about this game below in the comments, go ahead. I don't care. I will probably answer back because I'm cool like that. Not really, but yeah, that's just kind of my whole opinion, and I guess we'll just have to wait till more is released.